Group work and discussion. Group work and discussion are important learning and social activities for all students. Consideration needs to be given as to how all students, including your deaf and hard of hearing students, can work together and make sure that everyone in a group is fully included. Procedures. You'll want to develop whole class rules for group discussions. For example, you could ask the students not to talk with their hands or pens near or in their mouths. You may also want to ask them to raise their hands before speaking, and that only one person speak at a time. As an example, during a classroom observation I had done, the teacher had created a very unique way to use the FM system during group discussions. It would be rather cumbersome to remove the lapel microphone for each student to be able to make their comments, and time-consuming to say the least. Rather than doing that, the teacher attached the microphone to a meter stick with tape. In doing this, she could direct the microphone to each student who was speaking, and then the deaf and hard of hearing students were able to access the discussion without any delay. Divided attention. Remember, deaf and hard of hearing students can only watch one person at a time, whether that's the speaker or the interpreter. And the interpreter can only sign for one speaker at a time. Provide a visual clue to help the student know who is talking when having class discussion. You may wish to do this by using objects like a talking stick, so that the student knows who is speaking, or a squishy ball that you toss to the student that you have called on to answer. Call on different students by name so that your deaf and hard of hearing student and the interpreter knows who is speaking. Wait time. If an interpreter is being used, allow for a short time lag between what is said and what is interpreted. Your deaf and hard of hearing student won't be ready to answer questions until the interpreter has finished signing. Wait time allows the student to fully process the information. Repeat. When possible, repeat students' answers to teachers' questions. For example, Tony said, and then you may summarize or rephrase what has been said to ensure that your deaf and hard of hearing student has received all of the information. If your deaf and hard of hearing student has an FM system, ask the other students to hold the microphone when speaking. If this isn't possible, repeat what the student said through the microphone. Reinforcement. At the end of any discussion, summarize or review the main points and write these on your black or whiteboard. Encouragement. Like most students, your deaf and hard of hearing student may need some encouragement to participate in classroom discussions.